Hello there and good evening once again, and welcome to tonight's video. Now, some of you may have noticed that I made another video recently about some of my favorite Laserdiscs, and tonight I thought I'd show you some more of my Laserdisc collection. I'm just going to show you a few of them because there's quite a few to go through, and it would take literally probably quite a few hours to show them all, so I'm just going to show some of them for now. So let's start off with the first one for tonight, and some of you probably have noticed also that I'm quite a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, and I've got I haven't got many of these films on Laserdisc, but this is one of them that I do have, and this one is Sudden Death, which was made in, I believe, 1996, I think it was. Anyway, I'm just using my memory skills here, or the lack of them, shall we say. And if you're a fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme, or if you've seen this film, you probably have noticed that it was quite a good film. And it also starred, I forgot his name, the other guy, the one that was in U-Turn and several other films. He passed away recently. I can't remember his name, but he played the bad guy in this. Can't think of his name offhand, but I'm sure some of you out there, they'll know who I'm talking about. And this is a PAL Laserdisc in widescreen 2:35:1 aspect ratio, and it's, as you can see, it's got all the chapter listings on the back, and some nice photos here of some of the action sequences during the movie. A lot of it takes, most of it takes place in an ice hockey stadium. Really good film though. It's kind of underrated, I would say. But that's Sudden. Did I say? I didn't say Sudden Impact before, did I? I hope not. I'm a bit tired because I haven't had much sleep, so I apologise if I make some mistakes because I've only had less than 4 hours sleep last night. So anyway, so that's Sudden Death. And that's a PAL release. Right, the next one I've got here is another, I believe it's actually I'm not sure if it is a PAL release. Anyway, it's this one. I think it is, but I'm not sure. It's got CIC video on the back. This one is The Dream Team with Michael Keaton. And this is actually a full screen version of the movie. I believe there was another version of this released in widescreen, I think, in the USA. Actually, I'm not sure where this one's from. I can see it. It's got NL on the back, whatever that means. Don't know what that means. Oh, it is PAL. It says PAL TV. I just found it on the back. I thought it was PAL. It's just confused us for a minute because there's no UK certificate on the front or anything. So I thought it might have possibly been a US one from America, an import. Because I bought some of these second hand, not all of them. I bought a lot of them brand new, but this one I got second hand from this guy in this country somewhere. I forget his name. I think I found his advert in a magazine, like a film magazine or something, and I phoned him up and ordered some laser discs off him. So that's the Dream Team, and he has the back cover. I'm not a big fan of these type of laser discs with the little picture in the middle, but there's some nice pictures there. Michael Keaton there when he had more hair. He hasn't got much these days, unfortunately. But that's how he used to look in 1989. And of course, this cover looks like they've just used like basically the VHS, the cover they used for the VHS tape release. Basically slapped it in the middle of the Laserdisc cover, as you can see. But the other version, I think, uses the picture on the full cover, so it's all filled up on the front. I prefer those ones much better, you know. So that's The Dream Team, which is a great film, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It's very funny. A lot of hilarious scenes in this movie. It's one of my favourites. Next we have another major favourite of mine. I showed you the sequel to this on the last video, so if you haven't seen that video and you're interested in this film or the actor that's in it, check the last video I made about the Laserdiscs. because that had the sequel in on Laserdisc. So this one is the first one, which is Fletch, starring the great Chevy Chase, of course. I own this film on DVD several times over. I've got a few copies of it on DVD. I've got like a double feature version with a sequel, and I've got the PAL UK release on DVD as well. And I've also got the Blu-ray of it on Region A import, and that's also a double feature. I think it's got Uncle Buck with it, actually, surprisingly enough. And this is a great film if you haven't seen it. It's got an excellent music score by Harold Faltermeyer. If you don't know him, he did the scores for Beverly Hills Cop films. He also did, I believe, The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he did Cuffs with Christian Slater as well. He did those soundtracks. And he also did Top Gun as well, I believe. And probably some other ones that I can't think of right now, but that's the main ones he did, I think, most of them. So this is another full screen version. It's not the widescreen version of Fletch, unfortunately. And this is another PAL release. But I'm happy to have it on Laserdisc because I'm a big fan of this film, of course. And as you know, I've got the sequel Fletch Lives on Laserdisc as well, which is also full screen. But anyway, I mean, it's the full image, I believe, of the film. There's nothing really cropped off because the sort of widescreen films, when these are in widescreen format, they just crop the top and bottom of the image, the square frame, to make it widescreen, I believe. It's like a matted widescreen format. Because I used to be a projectionist in the cinema, and I was showing Planes, Trains and Automobiles, and I had to trim some frames off the end of each reel, you know, when you splice them together to make the film all into one, because the 35mm feature films all come on separate reels, and you've got to splice them together, and you have to chop frames off the end of the reel to make a clean taping joint type thing. And I noticed on some scenes of Planes, Trains and Automobiles, some had the black borders on to make it like rectangle 185 widescreen format, and then some scenes didn't have the black borders on. They were just like a full frame, a full square frame. So I noticed a lot of films where some of them had black borders on some scenes, and other scenes were left open matte where it's just square. Strange how that comes about. And on some of the scenes where the frames are like square, sometimes there's like microphone booms get in the shot and stuff, but you don't see them when you watch them on the TV or whatever, because they're cropped off if they're in widescreen. So when they put them in full screen format, they must have to zoom in on the frame on them shots to crop out the microphone booms, I think. I'm not sure how they do it exactly, but I think might be how they do it. So that's Fletch, starring Chevy Chase. The next one I've got here is a very good Sylvester Stallone film, and this one's called Daylight. I guess this one's a bit more underrated than some of his other films like Cliffhanger and the Rocky and Rambo films, but this is still a very good film. And there's one thing I noticed about this cover that's it's not just on film covers, it's everywhere. It's in music and films, TV, everything, music videos. But I don't know if you can notice anything. What stands out on the cover here? What stands out? Anything? Well, to me, the first thing I'm noticing is this bit here, which is really bright light. Light is the main thing that's going on there on the cover. But if you've watched any of my other videos, I sometimes comment on the some of the symbolism that's used in Hollywood and music videos and things like that, and that's part of the symbolism that I have mentioned before, the light type of thing. But anyway, I'll not go into too much detail on that. Some of you may know what I'm referring to, but I'm not going to go into too much details. But anyway, here's the back cover of this one. And as you can see, yet again, we've got the light coming through the gaps in the wall behind them there. This film was shot in 1:8:5:1, I believe. It's not a CinemaScope film or anything. I had this on HD DVD as well, but I don't think I've got the Blu-ray that I can think of. I don't think I have. But I could do with getting this on Blu-ray actually, because it's a really good film. It's also got Viggo Mortensen in it. He's a really good actor, as you know. So that's Daylight. I have to go a bit quicker here because I don't want the video to be too long. I think it puts a lot of people off watching my videos if they're too long. This one is Rising Sun, which is another film I actually showed on 35mm in the cinema when I worked in the cinema. And this is a really good film as well, quite underrated I would say. Not many people are, well, probably quite a few people know it well, but there's probably hell of a lot of people that haven't heard of it. The film features a scene with this girl here where she gets raped by this guy who you don't see his face. Gets recorded on security cameras in this building. I think it's a casino or somewhere. And it stars Sean Connery, who sadly passed away recently. He was a really good actor, of course, most famous for playing James Bond. And also Wesley Snipes, who is probably most famous for tax evasion, I think. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's what some of the stories that used to go around about him and stuff. And here's the back cover of this one, which is a nice back cover. And once again, we have the sun symbolism here. And what else have we got? And of course, the film's called Rising Sun, so why not feature the sun? But and it's got obviously you can see it's got all the chapter listings on the back. They don't all have them, I don't believe, but some of them do, some of them don't. So that's Rising Sun, a very good thriller. If you haven't seen it, you can get it on Blu-ray here in the UK and I think in the USA as well. But the transfer isn't great on the Blu-ray, but it's probably better than this one. It kind of had like a weird brownish tint, I thought. And I shot it on 35mm, it looked fine. But on the Blu-ray, it looked kind of not too attractive looking, you know, the image and stuff. But anyway, this is on a label called Encore Entertainment. If you buy Laserdisc, you're probably very familiar with that company. It's funny how different companies release these on different formats. Like this on Blu-ray is released by 20th Century Fox, which also were involved with this one. But I think it was pretty much mainly released by Encore. That's just the film company logo that made the film. But the actual Blu-ray is actually a Fox, the 20th Century Fox title. So that's Rising Sun. Right, next one we've got here is another favourite one of mine. And a favourite actor of mine is in it. And that's Alec Baldwin. And this is The Juror, which also stars Demi Moore, of course. And this is a great tense thriller stroke drama. There's a great scene where Alec Baldwin does a lot of yelling and stuff. I think there's a few scenes where he does a lot of yelling and shouting. But he's always good in those type of scenes. He's good in most scenes, but especially those type of ones. I think this film's quite underrated as well. I don't think too many people have like either heard of this or know it too well, or are too familiar with it. But it's a really good movie in my opinion. And this film is in 2:3:5:1 CinemaScope aspect ratio. It's quite a good transfer on this, but as you know, if you watch my last video, or if you buy Laserdiscs yourselves, you'll know that Laserdiscs are not anamorphically enhanced, so you don't get quite as good resolution on your widescreen TV as you would off a DVD or a Blu-ray. Well, obviously these can't compare with Blu-rays, and like I pointed out in my other videos that most DVDs are better quality than Laserdiscs because they're anamorphically enhanced and they're digital. These are only analog images. They're analog discs, you know, that they're not digital. So but this has got a really nice back cover here. I like this colour they've used in the background here and stuff. Looks really good. Quite a few good photographs from the movie there, and once again it's got the chapter selection down this side. And if you haven't seen this film, it's well worth getting a hold of, even if you get it on DVD. I don't know if it's on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. I don't think it is though, as far as I can remember. Anyway, but that's The Juror, starring Alec Baldwin. and Demi Moore. The next one I have here was a bit of a flop actually, but I enjoyed it. But I mainly enjoyed it because Catherine Zeta-Jones was in it. I think that was my main reason for buying it. But this one's called The Phantom, starring Billy Zane. And I believe this film was made back when he had a full head of hair as well, because at some point he kind of lost most of it, unfortunately, as a lot of us do. And this film is like a superhero movie, but I'm not sure if it's actually, I'm no expert, but I don't think it's Marvel or DC. Maybe somebody out there can put us right on that. I can actually see the back properly where it says. It doesn't seem to mention. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I haven't really looked into it. I've just really known it as being The Phantom, and it was a movie starring Billy Zane and Catherine Zeta-Jones. But it's a very colourful film. I remember the Laserdisc. I haven't watched it for a while on Laserdisc. I've got it on DVD as well. But there's a lot of really lot of bright coloured green. Like the colour's really strong in it. Like there's a lot of scenes with the trees and everything. The scenery is like really bright green and stuff. I remember, and these costumes like really vibrant purple, you know, and stuff. So it's still an enjoyable movie. You know, I enjoyed it. I mean, there might be a few people who actually don't enjoy it too much, but I thought it was pretty good. And once again, we've got the light thing going on here, the bright light. It's always a prominent feature on most of these film covers and what have you. So that's Phantom, and here's the back cover. And once again, we've got the lo and behold, it's the light once again. Yep. And we've got the chapter selections down here. And some DVDs used to have the chapter selections on a little piece of paper inside the box. But now they don't seem to have that anymore. You just get an empty box with just a disc in, there's nothing else. Sometimes some little pamphlets with adverts and competitions or whatever in there, but nothing much else. No chapter selection anymore. That's a bit unfortunate, but never mind. So that's The Phantom. Like I said, also stars Catherine Zeta-Jones. And if you can just see this picture here, I think that's Catherine Zeta-Jones on the horse with Billy Zane riding along on the horse with him. Anyway, that's The Phantom. And this is a PAL release on the Pioneer label. Pioneer, as you probably know, also make hi-fi systems, TVs and Blu-ray players, etc. And they also made Laserdisc players, of course, hence the discs. And next we have a very popular film. It made a hell of a lot of money, and they're still making these films, I believe. Or they're going to make another one. This is Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy. This is the first one, of course, and the one that made him a household name, I guess. But then again, he did star in Trading Places before this one, so I guess that film maybe helped make his name, but I think this one made him into a big box office star. Mainly, I think it was this one. Even though the other film's probably maybe technically better than this one, maybe. But everyone has their own opinions on stuff. A lot of people probably oops, I'm pointing his cross, that's not good. A lot of people probably prefer this one to Trading Places, I don't know. But then again, Trading Places had that scene where Jamie Lee Curtis got a what's it out, so maybe that one's more popular. I'm not sure. But it was really funny as well. They're both really funny, that's for sure. And this is yet again a PAL released in the UK here. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but I bought it brand new, I believe. I think I might have got it from HMV, but I can't really remember properly. HMV is a big music and film and music store over here in the UK, but they closed a lot of their shops not too long ago because they were running into financial trouble, allegedly, because they weren't selling as much things as they used to, you know, with all the streaming again and stuff like that, whatever you. So that's Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, starring Eddie Murphy. Also Judge Reinhold's in there as well. Next we have the sequel, which is Beverly Hills Cop 2. And this is also a PAL UK release version of the film. And I remember somebody said, I think it was a film critic, forget which film critic it was, but he said when he went to see this at the cinema, he says they should have give you a box of headache tablets as you entered the auditorium, because he said it was so damn loud, it basically give you a splitting headache after watching it or during watching it or both. And he didn't care for it too much because of that reason, I believe. It was all loud and raucous, rambunctious, whatever the words are. And this film was actually directed by Ridley Scott's brother, Tony Scott, who sadly passed away a few years ago in mysterious circumstances, I hasten to add. He allegedly jumped off a bridge in somewhere in America. I forget where exactly it was. I don't know, I thought it was a bit mysterious, to be honest, the way it happened and stuff. But anyway, it's unfortunate, He made a lot of good films though. He always had that style of shooting these films where they used that smoke machine type thing with the lights, where you see the hazy type shots, similar to Catherine Bigelow does, in Point Break and Near Dark and stuff like that. She does that sort of thing as well. Anyway, this is the back cover for this one. It's got some rather large photographs on it. Well, sort of. This is a bigger photo, but these are smaller ones. And once again, it's got the chapter listing. Not as many chapters on this one for some reason. And this film also starred Bridget Nielsen as well. And it's in 2:35:1, I believe. CinemaScope ratio as well. I've got these on Blu-ray as well, all three of them. I haven't got the third one on Laserdisc though. Not many people like the third one, but Bronson Pinchot, who's one of my favourite actors from Perfect Strangers, the TV series, he's in the third one and the first one. He played the art gallery owner, Serge, or whatever you call him. He was really good in those films. He's a good actor. And if you haven't seen the TV series Perfect Strangers, I suggest you check it out. It was made in 1986 onwards to the early 90s. And it used to be on BBC One after Jim Will Fix It. I think it was after Jim Will Fix It or before Jim Will Fix It. It was somewhere around next to Jim Will Fix It, I remember. But it used to be on then. And then later on, a few years later, they started showing the more recent episodes in the mornings, 9:30 in the morning or something. I remember that because I used to record them on VHS tape. And I used to collect them all and write little... I didn't know the names of the episodes, but I made my own names up and I put them in a little book and put different stickers with the letters on each tape. So I knew which one was which, obviously, and stuff. But they've since been released on DVD in America, but they're very expensive. Ludicrously expensive for DVDs. Each season, you can get each season of Perfect Strangers. Every season you can get on DVD in America if anyone's interested. You can import them, apparently. But anyway, I'm going off the beaten track here. So that's Beverly Hills Cop 2 on PAL Laserdisc. Right, next we have another firm favourite with me. It's always been a favourite film of mine. This one stars Drew Barrymore and Chris O'Donnell. And this one is called Mad Love. Yet another sort of not very well known movie, I would say. It's not really often mentioned as one of Drew Barrymore's big popular type movies or anything. They often mention The Wedding Singer and Poison Ivy and stuff like that. But this one's really good. It's a romantic drama about a girl who's got some sort of mental condition problems and stuff. And he sort of fancies her and falls in love with her, start a relationship, and they run off together. And the parents and police are trying to find out where they are, get her back get her into a hospital, a psychiatric hospital and stuff, to make sure she gets proper treatment and stuff. But he doesn't seem to think she needs it and stuff, and he doesn't agree with them, so he keeps it secret where they're hiding out and stuff, and where they're moving to next and what have you. It's a really good film. I've also got it on DVD because it wasn't released on Blu-ray, and I don't think it ever will. I'm pretty sure it won't. But I'll be very surprised if it does get released on Blu-ray. If it does, it'll be in the USA, I'm pretty sure of that, because we'll not get it. In the UK, we only get certain films on Blu-ray, mainly the big main box office releases, and a lot of shitty ones as well. I don't know how they end up on Blu-ray, these low-budgety sort of things with Vinnie Jones in and stuff like that. There's like loads of them type nobody wants. Going for like £2 and £3 online. But like the stuff you really want, like films you're a big fan of and stuff like this, it never gets released in the UK. I don't understand that. They put all the crappy low budget stuff on Blu-ray that nobody wants practically. And then the stuff that you do want never gets released. It doesn't make much sense to me. Anyway, that's Mad Love. And here's the back cover of this one. Nice shot of the road going off in the distance there in the Arizona desert, I think it is. That's what it looks like anyway. And nice photographs from the scenes in the film there. Some of the scenes. So that's Mad Love. And next we have another major favourite of mine because I'm a big fan of Michael J. Fox. And I guess this one isn't one of his main, like, big, major, well-known, popular type titles either. But it's this one. And it's called For Love or Money. And I really like the cover of this one, actually. And that's Gabrielle Anwar. I'm quite a fan of hers as well. She was in the remake of Body Snatchers, I believe, which was a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it was just called Body Snatchers, I think. Made in about 1988 or somewhere around that. So it might have been later, I might be getting mixed up. But this one, when it was released in the UK to the cinemas and on VHS when it first came out, was called The Concierge. But the title in America, I believe, was always For Love or Money. And for some reason, when it got released on, this is on Blu-ray over here, I've got the Blu-ray twice. And the Blu-ray has this title on it, For Love or Money. So they changed it back to this title for some reason, I don't know why. And it was also shown on UK television under this title as well. I think it was on BBC One, I believe. And this is a widescreen version, which is in, I believe, 185 or 178. There's not much difference between 185 and 178, as you probably know. Just a fraction of a millimeter or something. So that's the front cover of that one. Here's the back. It's released by Universal. And it's got the chapter listings once again and 3 pictures from the movie. And this is only in Dolby Surround, I believe. Yeah, most of the all of the PAL Laserdiscs are in Dolby Surround, not Dolby 5.1, because there's no room for the actual digital 5.1 sound on the UK releases, because the PAL picture, the image, takes up too much space on the disc that they can't fit the 5.1 sound on. But the American ones, the picture takes up less space on the disc because it is it's lower resolution, so there's more space for the 5.1 sound. That's what I heard. But yet again, this is an American one, but the film wasn't released for the 5.1 sound. I don't think, actually haven't said that. I think the Blu-ray of this is in 5.1, I think. So I don't know why this isn't. But anyway, it must have